I'm Jo O'Neill. I run Bright Tech Business Solutions, but I also run a community group. Today, I wanted to talk to you about building a community and actually getting those people through that door, because nobody likes to see a group with two members. So if you've been following my socials, my emails, or my latest blog, you'll know I've taken on a passion project. I started an online community under the Business Success Network for disabled entrepreneurs, because that's my tribe. I've had an amazing response to this, and people keep wanting to talk to me about it. It's weird. I'm not sure I'm completely comfortable with that, but I'm getting there. So today I thought I'd tell you about growing the community, because I gave myself the challenge of the race to 100 members, because I figured that's a nice number when I'm dragging people in. So to start, I'll tell you a story. The wonderful Stacey Calder, who is a member of this network, runs Business Success Network UK, has been trying to plant seeds in my brain for a while now about running a local community. However, I personally think that a local group would lend itself to in-person networking, and due to chronic illness, I can never be sure if I'll be well enough to go out and do something. I usually have to plan for it quite extensively. And then it hit me. I know quite a few business owners with similar problems, and I recently went to an FSB meeting for disabled entrepreneurs, and I absolutely love the supportive feel of the event. But I want that every day. So of course, that gave me the idea of setting up a disabled entrepreneur community, which I probably should have called something else because I can't spell entrepreneur. So I decided to set that up under the banner of the Business Success Network. I told Stacey about this and she got very excited too. 2 days later, it was live and accepting members. 13 days later, we hit 100 members, and in a month, we hit 200. And they're all very engaged, and it's actually quite difficult to keep up with the amount of posts and comments and things at this point. And yeah, it's just going to get harder. So how did I do it? First thing you need to know is that when I get my teeth into something, I go all out. It turned out this really is my passion project. Whenever I'm asked to join a group, I'm always hesitant if there's not a lot of people in there. So I felt it was pertinent to get those numbers up as quick as possible. So I wasn't specifically aiming for 100 to start with. I said once I hit 100, we'd have a look at running networking events. But I was looking at jumps of, say, maybe 25 people over a week or two. Really didn't expect the response I got. And I'm pretty sure Stacey did a bunch of these steps alongside me too. The first one was to invite close friends. I am probably lucky that I have some very close business friends in the same boat as me, as a disabled entrepreneur, plus a bunch of other people that I've networked with a lot. So they were my first invitees. That probably got the first 10 or so people in the group. Great, it wasn't just two of us anymore. It was a good start. The next step two was to hit the socials. The next step was to put word out on the socials that I knew there would be more people that I hadn't thought of that I was connected with. So I put a post out asking if people were a disabled entrepreneur or worked with these amazing group of people. As many disabled people find that they must leave the world of traditional work to focus on their health, or they find accommodations that don't stretch to the point they need to. Some fall into self-employment to make ends meet, and others to keep themselves active in any way they can be. It's not easy, and it can be lonely, and it can be tough. But I want Business Success Network for disabled entrepreneurs to aim to bring those business owners and those that support them together in a vibrant and supportive community, with lots of advice, support, check-ins and networking to help grow our businesses and make them what success looks like to you. And then I asked them to come join me. Put this on Facebook and LinkedIn, and then ask people I know to comment and share, give it a boost. I also targeted a few Twitter hours with a shorter version. And then I put it out again about a week later. My sister-in-law even got excited and shared it. And yeah, that really started the ball rolling. Step 3 was emails. I have a fairly engaged email list of around 700 people, so I sent them an email asking them if they'd like to join, but I gave them the full story, why I was doing it, who it was for, how they were going to benefit. And if they weren't of one of the target audience, if they could pass it on to those that they knew. So that helped. And I'm also a fairly avid networker, and I always try to follow up. So after any meeting I'd been in with my target audience or with just anybody really, I added it into my email template in my follow-up emails. We were flying by this point, a nice trickle of people asking to join and getting excited about it. Then came the big push, LinkedIn targeting. Since so many people were telling me how much of a great idea it was, this just spurred me on. To hell with my target of 25, I wanted 50 members in the first week. I actually got 75 and 100 by the end of the second week. So I went on what can only be described as a LinkedIn assault. I searched the terms disability, disabled, neurodiverse, ADHD, and autism. Using one at a time, going through my first connections, anyone that was disabled entrepreneur or looked like they served them, I sent them this message. Hi, I've started a community of Facebook group for disabled entrepreneurs and those that support them. It's becoming a really vibrant and supportive space. And we'll be adding in networking and other ways we can support and work with each other as we grow. So I was wondering, would you like to come join us? This really worked. I didn't expect it would because that's how I get visitors to this meeting. But the response was much, much bigger. As this worked, once I ran out of first connections, I decided to give my second connection a go. This is how I met Philip Connolly and a few others that have since wanted to talk to me about all of this. Now, I was probably aided by the fact that I was using a month's free trial of LinkedIn Premium, so I had a lot more connection requests that I could make. And I never actually reached the end of it, despite sending out a lot of messages. They are still trickling through several weeks later. So again, I did the same targeting, same connecting, slightly shorter note because the original was too long. This would, of course, also work with third connections, but I found the search function doesn't work quite as well at that point. But I never got that far in my race to 100 members. In fact, for second connections, I also only searched for disabled and neurodiverse. I didn't get far through them. Stacey was amazed by how many people this brought in, having 15 people waiting for approval at one point. And even after hitting 100, the messages I sent out were still bringing people through and are several weeks later for the people who don't use LinkedIn that often. Oh, and I also added community leader of the group as my current job role, which got a lot of eyes on it. So finally, groups. Like anyone on Facebook, I am in a bunch of groups. So for the ones where it was appropriate, I posted in those to tell people about it. And occasionally where there was questions of what's your win for this week, what you're proud of, popped a little note in there, and that brought people through. And as I said, I was an avid networker. As soon as the group was live, I mentioned it in all the meetings I was in, either during my pitch, a win section, or just dropping it into the chat. The direct feedback from people's excitement was really inspiring. Step 7, if you're keeping count, was I asked the community. It's not all about me and Stacey getting people in. I'm growing a community of people. So I asked them, who do they know that they can invite? And I've actually just done that again today to see how many we get. Step 8 was going live. We went live with Stacey and we popped into several groups. We also went live with Jen, so we could go in the 1Networking groups to tell people about this. And yeah, that really got some more people in as well. So now we're beyond 100, and in fact beyond 200. We're not stopping promoting it. In fact, we're more likely to let it grow organically. But we've still got blogs about it. There's 8 podcasts being recorded this week. I'm launching my own podcast that will go alongside it. And yeah, I am not going to stop talking about it. I've also got a webinar in April as well. And I may even end up on a radio show to talk about it as well. But I'm not going to stop talking about it. I'm still growing it, but that is how I got it to 100. Thank you very much. And if you ever need help growing a community, come talk to me. Apparently I'm good at it.